morning to you all. Welcome to online classes. I am Jaya Verma and today we will start the topic arenas of the Cold War. In the previous video we have discussed about the emergence of the two super blocs. And which were these two super blocs? They were Western Alliance and the Eastern Alliance. And in this we will discuss about areas of the Cold War, means arenas of the Cold War. So let's start. The Cuban Missile Crisis that we began this chapter was only one of the several crises that occurred during the Cold War. It is one of the crises. It is not because that from this Cuban Missile Crisis the Cold War started, but it is one of the incident which occurred during the Cold War. So the Cold War also led to several shooting wars, but it is important to note that these crises and wars did not lead to another Cold War. So this Cold War also led to other wars, but it is important to see that only these crises and war, they did not take us to another world war. So the two superpowers were poised. Poised means they were ready to move for direct confrontation, means for direct meeting in Korea, that is 1950 to 53, Berlin from 1958 to 62, the Congo, the early 1960s, and in several other places. Crisis deepened as neither of the parties involved was willing to back down. Means this crisis became more dense as neither of the parties which were involved in this Cold War, they were willing to back down. So when we talk about arenas of the Cold War, we refer therefore to areas where crisis and war occurred or they threatened to occur between the alliance system but did not cross certain limits. So in this Cold War, we say that the areas where these crises and wars happened and they threatened the world that will occur, or the war will occur between these two alliances, but the main thing is they did not cross their limits. A great many lives were lost in some of these arenas like Korea, Vietnam and Afghanistan, but the world was spared a nuclear war and global hostilities. But none of these, many of the human lives were lost in Korea, Vietnam and Afghanistan, but world was spared from the nuclear war and the global hostilities. Hostilities means problems. In some cases, huge military buildups were reported. In many cases, diplomatic communication, means in many cases military buildup was reported, communication was reported, and communication between these two superpowers, means diplomatic communication between these two superpowers could not be sustained and contributed to the misunderstanding. Means whatever diplomatic communications was held between these two superpowers, they did not contribute to the misunderstanding, means they did not create a misunderstandings. Sometimes countries outside the two blocs, for example the non-aligned countries, played a role in reducing Cold War conflicts and averting some grave crisis. And in this, some countries of these two blocs, they are non-aligned countries, they played an important role in reducing these Cold War conflicts and diverting it. Averting means to stop them some grave crisis, and these non-aligned countries have played an important role in reducing this Cold War and to stop the grave crisis which were going to happen. Now Jawaharlal Nehru, one of the key leaders of the NAM, played a crucial role in mediating between the two Koreas. So Jawaharlal Nehru, he was one of the founding leaders of the NAM. He played a crucial role and he was a mediator between these two Koreas. So in the Congo crisis, the UN Secretary General, he also played a key mandatory role in it. By and large, it was the realization on a superpower's part that war by all means should be avoided that made them exercise restraint and behave more responsibly in international affairs. Means in the Congo crisis, UN Secretary also played a mandatory role, and it was the realization on the part of the superpowers that hot war by all means, it should be stopped, it should be avoided, and that made them exercise that these superpowers should behave in a very responsible manner in international arena. So as the Cold War rolled from one arena to another, logic of restraint was increasingly evident. So as this Cold War was rolling from one area to another area, so the situation, the control, and after day by day it became clear. However, since the Cold War did not eliminate rivalries between the two alliances, mutual suspicions led them to arm themselves to the teeth and to constantly prepare for war. Means here, the Cold War, it did not remove any rivalries between these two alliances, but mutual suspicions was led. Mutual suspicion means mutual shak between them. It led to arm themselves, and they were prepared to constantly, they were preparing for war. Anytime war can happen. Huge stock of arms were considered necessary to prevent wars from taking place. So each of the superpowers, they have nuclear arms, military alliances, but they were keeping them as stock. Any time if a war starts, they will be ready for the war. So the two sides understood that war might occur in spite of restraint. In spite of controlling, war might occur anytime. Either side might miscalculate the number of weapons. Either of the side, either Soviet Union or United States of America, they can miscalculate the number of the weapons and which they were possessing. So they might misunderstand the intentions of the other side. Anytime they can, by mistake, they can misunderstand the intentions of any of the other side. So sorry. Besides, what if there was a nuclear accident? See, now the question arises, for example, if there would be a nuclear accident, what would happen if someone fired off a nuclear weapon by mistake? If by mistake somebody has fired a nuclear weapon, or if a soldier mischievously shot off a weapon deliberately to start a war, or any of the soldier, he is doing any mischief and he shot a weapon to start a war. So what if an accident occurred with a nuclear weapon? What will happen if any accident appears with the nuclear weapon? How would the leaders of that country know it was an accident and not an act of sabotage? Means deliberately destroyed by the enemy, or that a missile had not landed from the other side. So the leaders of the country should know that it was not an accident and it is not an act of deliberately destroyed, they want to destroy anything by the enemy, or that a missile had not landed from the other side. So students, here there is one timeline given. You have to learn this timeline, go through this timeline, very important timeline. 1947 American President Harry Truman Doctrine, then about the containment of communism. So all of them are given in this timeline, and this timeline is very important. And here some pictures are given. See, and you have to study these pictures. See, here it is written, political spring, China makes overtures to the USA. And here, food for thought, that is President Johnson is in more trouble over Vietnam. See, in the first picture, Vietnam is being placed in his plate in form of a I think so, crab, and in the other lobster, it is a lobster, sorry, or maybe it is a crab, and in the other, the lobster, it attacks on his nose. So this President Johnson is more in trouble over Vietnam. There is one or the other problem in Vietnam. Now, in time, therefore, the US and USSR decided to collaborate in limiting or eliminating certain kinds of nuclear and non-nuclear weapons. So, US and USSR, they decided to collaborate on limiting these nuclear and non-nuclear weapons. A stable balance of weapons, they decided, could be maintained through arms control. So both the superpowers, they decided that there should be a stable balance of weapons, and it should be maintained through arms control. Starting in the 1960s, the two sides, signed 3 significant agreements within a decade. So within a decade, these two superpowers, they signed 3 agreements. First is, these were the limited test ban treaty. This was signed. And then second was nuclear non-proliferation treaty and the anti-ballistic missile treaty. And these treaties were signed. Therefore, the superpowers held several rounds of arms limitation talks and signed several more treaties to limit their arms. Though these superpowers, they have nuclear weapons, military alliances, but they should not use over other countries of the world, or they should not have a hot war between them, because if there would be a war, that will not be beneficial for the world. So students, this is all for today. What are the areas of Cold War? This was the topic. So we have discussed about in this video. So I hope you must have understood the topic. If you have any queries, please you can ask in the session in the sense when I am taking your classes, online classes. You can ask any question if you have. So that's all for today. I will pause here. Thank you students, and have a nice day.